Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with PA Creative. Today I'm going to show you how to change your color scheme in Divi. And I'm going to be going over how to do it directly in the Divi Builder with things like presets and find and replace and things like that, but also in your CSS file. So for example, in a lot of our child themes, I have like a main color and a secondary color. And if you want to change those, it's actually really easy. You can do a find and replace. So I'm going to show you how to change your colors across the board here, and you can change your website color scheme actually really quickly. So I'm going to show you how. Alright, so Divi makes it pretty easy to change the color scheme. In fact, I would almost say very easily, because you're going to see in some of my examples here how quickly you can do this with some of these tools. So I'm going to go over a couple things here. And I guess just to start, like, why would you want to do this? Well, if you're rebranding or you're building a website and you used a premium child theme or layout, like kind of like the ones we sell or the ones that Divi offers, so whatever. If you want to change the color scheme, when you're looking at it, don't limit yourself to whatever color is there in the demo. With Divi, you can really think big. And if you can do it, try to imagine a totally different color. And this tutorial here is going to show you how quickly you can make that imagination a reality. Alright, so we're going to do it in the Divi Builder. We're going to cover 4 things. Copy and paste, extend styles, find and replace, and then the presets. And then we're going to jump into how to do it in CSS. So these kind of go together. I'm going to try to go quick, but also cover the bases. So here you can see, I'm talking about the Divi Builder settings. So I'm going to walk through on a live site here and show you how to use each of these 4 things to change the color scheme. Basically, there's this menu in Divi when you're on any setting. You can see it here in the screenshot. So if you click this ellipsis icon, or if you right click, I'm going to say right click because that's what I do, but you get these options on any of the settings. And you can see right here, the 4 that I just mentioned are here. So copying, extending, find and replace, and then presets. So they're all there. And so we're going to talk about each one of them. And there's kind of, I would say, like, I'm kind of going in order of like less useful to most useful, I guess. But each one of them does have a use for whichever time and place you're using it. All right, so first one, copy and paste styles. And I was almost not going to put this in here, but I was like, well, I guess you could use this. Copy and paste, it's basically like you right click on the module and then you paste it into another one. And yeah, at first I was like, this doesn't really apply to changing the color scheme, but it does. I'm going to be working here in this example, so I'm going to enable the visual builder here. All right, let me see if I see a good example of copy and paste. All right, so I'm just gonna like do extreme examples in this tutorial. Let's say I go in here and make the background black, right? Something like that. Save that. If I was to right click on this or on that setting, but on here, if I say copy module styles, and I could do this to a section background or whatever, and here I could go and right click and paste module styles. So there, I changed the color scheme kind of. I mean, it's a poor example, but copy and pasting does work. It's not my favorite. It's probably not going to be super helpful in changing your color scheme, but there is a time and place for it. Like if you were, I don't know, copying that headline color and then you paste it on here, or a background color of a section and you paste it into another one. But these next couple are going to be a lot more efficient and just better overall. All right, the next one is extend styles. So maybe think of it as like when you copy and paste, you right click, you copy, and then you find another one and you paste it. But with extend, you're like, it's almost like you're right clicking and copy, and then it's almost like paste all, like if that was even a thing, but it's like extending to all. So let's go ahead and do that. So, and this applies on a module basis. So what I mean by that, or a row or section. So let's say I go into this section, and we'll just do background color again. I make it gray. So if I right click on background, and by the way, sometimes the setting itself doesn't have it. See, there's no extend here, but if I right click on background, the word there, you'll see it says extend background styles. And once I click that, it's like, well, to where? And here it's a to and then throughout. You're going to get this anytime you do extend. So to, like I could even change it to all rows. And it's like, well, why wouldn't have I went to a row? But I'm going to keep it on all sections, but I'm just showing you that you have the option here to select if you wanted to extend it to something else. And then you can say throughout this page. All right, that's all. That's the only option here. So if I say extend here, it just made all my background gray in all the sections. So, all right, I just undid it because I didn't like it, but that's an example of what you can do. So I'm going to go in here to this blurb, I think it is. Let's say I make the icon yellow. See, before it was white. So there it's yellow. Okay. Now, I want all these icons in this row to be yellow. So if I right click here, you'll see that it says extend icon color. And then I can say, well, I want it to be all blurbs. I want that to stay where it was. But instead of doing it throughout the whole page, I don't want that. In this case, I have an option, just this section, this row, or this column. Well, I'm kind of thinking, well, row and section would be the same in this case. So let's say I pick row. Now watch what happens here. As soon as I click extend here, it's going to apply it to these two. And there you go. So that worked great. So just like that, I changed my icons, the color scheme of my icons with just a few clicks. So, and you can take that to a whole nother level, extending, all kinds of things. The next is find and replace. And this seems really powerful, and it's like it keeps getting a little better each one we get to. So find and replace, the reason this is really powerful, let's go in here and let's say instead of, if I wouldn't have done that extend style on this icon, if I had said instead that I wanted to find and replace, and remember it was white, well, okay, here's what we'll do. I'm going to do a find and replace, but instead of yellow, I no longer want it yellow. I want it this gray. So see here, I'm saying within, and I can choose again, this page, this section, all blurbs, all modules. There's so many options here. It's amazing. And that's fine. Like I can go and do this, right? And it's going to do a very similar thing to what I just did with the extend styles. All right, and there you go. It found all the yellow ones and it replaced it with that gray. So it matched that. Now, you might say, what's the difference between that and extend styles? And I'll show you the difference. Let's say I go in here again and I want to find and replace that. You see this check mark here, or now you see it. Replace all found values within every option type, not limited to icon color. Wow. So I could come in here and I don't know, if I knew that there was a lot of grays on this site, and I knew there were gray borders, gray backgrounds, gray buttons, gray text, all this stuff that was gray, right? Think of like all these things, everything on your site that has a collar. If I selected that and then replaced with whatever it was, and I had this selected, it would not only find the specific setting, like in this case, I chose a specific setting, the icon, but like I said, it would change it everywhere. So I don't know if there's a good example offhand here. What can I do where it affects everything? I guess this yellow collar. Yeah, right. Yeah, so let's go in here and go to this yellow collar in my button. It's in my button, but let's go here. So like if I'm going to replace this with, I don't know, let's just pick something. Let's pick like a red. Okay. And then I say replace all. Now, anytime that this yellow shows up on this template, which is our child theme, it's the main accent color. So it's going to show up a lot, with the exception that some of these are in the CSS, this line, these lines, some of these lines are in the CSS, but anywhere where this yellow is, let's test this out. Let's go ahead and replace this. It might take a little bit. There you go. We're already starting to see results. And we're also starting to see some bugs with this thing, but it's done. Just exit out of there. You remember I was on this yellow button, and you're like, why didn't that change? I don't know. There's some bugs. But look, this changed. Remember they were yellow? That wasn't a button, so that's why I'm saying this feature is so powerful. It affects all the other modules, anything that had that red. There you go. Look at my dividers. It just matched the color value. I just think it's so cool. I don't have a lot on here. Here's one. Here's this border. There's not a ton of them, like different things, like some like there. A lot of this is in the CSS. These are icons. These are vector icons. I'm going to do that in a different video, but these are in the footer template and the theme builder, so it won't affect them. But yeah, you can see how powerful that is. It's just so quick. There's one more, and that's presets. And I did have a separate video on this, so I'm not going to go crazy on this. So presets, think of it as the advantage. Like, remember, we're building. So we had copy styles and then extend and now find and replace and then presets. So think of presets as like another notch up, like it's another thing up. And the reason that they're another thing up is because, like, let's say, this is my new color here. So I go in here, I think, what is that? The icon border. So if I right click here and say apply to active preset. Well, what does that mean? Well, the active preset is right here underneath the title of the settings, the blurb, preset. It's default. There's only one. Now you can add more and all that. That's a whole nother topic. But if I say apply to active preset, look what it says. It says this will affect all blurb modules using the blurb default preset across your entire site. That's the key. It's across your entire site. Have you noticed so far everything we were doing was only applying to the layout that we're on, the current page? The benefit of using the preset is that it will affect your entire site. So if I say yes here, and we're doing that, we just said yes, I am going to go show you on a different page. Here we go. So here it already changed these. It's the same module. So it affected that module across the entire site. So that's just so cool that you can do that. I could do it with dividers, change this divider color across the entire site, the button color, the border, and then, like I said, some of these are CSS. We're doing that next. So there you go. Those are the 4 things that I covered here in the blog post. This is all linked in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. But now this next part is kind of complementary. So in our child themes, like you've just seen, we have an accent color. We have a main, actually we have 2. It's kind of hard to see, but we have this dark whatever color and then the yellow. So in this particular template, we have those 2 colors. And then we have shades of gray. So you have a dark gray. Let's see if I can see any. You can kind of see them in the icon. We have the lighter gray. So yeah, here's the light gray too. So you have the black text, the dark gray, the light gray, and then the 2 main colors, and this one's yellow. And some of our other ones, like the mowing one, it's green. Okay, so how do we change these? We're going to need a code editor, and the reason is because this is in the CSS. So some of the things in our child themes are in the CSS. Now this is not going to apply to the pre-made Divi layouts from Elegant Themes because they don't have any CSS in them. But if you're buying any premium child theme from me or any of the other vendors, chances are you're going to want to change the color in the CSS. And I don't know how other people do it. I have no idea if they have a system or what. But for mine, I have a system, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. So when you're coming, like if you're looking at this and you're like, well, my construction company has a blue brand. Okay. Do you have 60 seconds to change it? So let's show you how to do that. So we're going to need a code editor. I use brackets. I'll show you that real quick. Brackets.io. I always use it. I don't know why. I just like it. It's kind of simple. It does what I need it to do. That's my default code editor. But you can come here and you can download brackets to your computer. And here we are in the code editor. I'm going to go ahead and open a file, but you could go ahead and say new file. In fact, maybe I should do that. Yeah, I'm going to go work this through with you. So I'm going to say new file. Comes in as untitled 1. We're just going to let that sit there and blink. Now we're going to go copy the code. We're going to do a find and replace of those color codes. That's all we're doing. And it's not scary. I know it's code, but I'm gonna show you exactly how easy this is. So we have our code editor open. We're about ready to come in here, and this is where we're gonna paste the code. Now I'm gonna show you how to go find that code. You need to go here to your WordPress dashboard. So we're in the back end of your website. You know, your website.com/wp-admin is going to be the URL. Go to Appearance. And then go down here where it says Theme Editor. So click on there. Here it's just going to say, hey, you know, you're about to edit code on your website. Don't mess it up. And just say you understand. Even if you don't, that's okay. Now, up here in the right-hand corner is an option to select. It says Select Theme to Edit. Make sure you're choosing, you know, the child theme. Make sure you're not on Divi. We don't want to edit Divi because that's not good. We want to edit Divi construction in this case. I would hit select. And then you'll see here it says, it's kind of small, but style.css, it says style sheet. And then over here you can see that I have CSS in here. So the first thing I want you to do is just click in here and hit Control A. Just do Control A or Command A. Copy, Control C or Command C. And then go down here into your code editor, Control V or Command V, paste it in there. And just like that, you have all of the CSS from our child theme in this editor. And now we're about ready to do the fun stuff. The next thing you need to do is go back to your website, go over here to the Divi menu to Theme Options. So come up here and select the main accent color that you want to replace. It's the one that you don't want. So in my case, it's this here. It's this yellow color. So I'm going to select that and go back to my code editor. So I'm going to go up here again, click on Find. I'm going to click on Replace. Just like that. It's already highlighting. It says 33 items, 33 times that this shows up. So I'm going to replace it. You can kind of hover over and see that preview. That's pretty cool. So what I need to do now, it's going to find all of those instances of that color. Now I need to find the color that I actually want it to be replaced with. So if my brand is red or blue or whatever, I want to get that hex color and put it right in here. All right, so I went and grabbed a color. Let's paste it in here. It's a crazy red color. So what I'm going to do is hit replace right here. And that's what you should do. Once you've got your color that you want to replace with the color you want to use instead, hit replace. And you can see the number went down to 32 because we just replaced one. To make this simpler and quicker, go ahead and click on batch. Basically, down here at the bottom, it's saying, we found 32 matches. Do you want to replace them? And so just click on replace here. All right, and you're done. Just like that, it went through and replaced all them. Now, let's go back and do this whole copy and paste thing again. So Command A, Control A, copy, Control C, go back to the website, do it again, Control A, and this time you have to be careful, but we're pasting over top of it. Control V. Got it. And now we update the file. Go visit the front. And we'll follow our advice on how to clear your Divi cache. I'm going to go ahead and click Control Shift R. There's sometimes cache. And there you go. You can see that that little line there beside that welcome text is already changed to red. And again, there's certain things that are in Divi and there's certain things that are in CSS. Let's scroll down here. There's there. They changed to red. You can see 1, 2, 3. There's another one of those lines. Another one of those lines. There's red. That might have been in Divi. I forget. But yeah, you can see that when you put these practices into your website, just changing them in Divi and then in the CSS, it's just like, boom, all of a sudden it's done. That there changed with the CSS. This read more on hover changed with the CSS. And then things like that, that's in the footer, but that's with CSS. So then I would want to go into my footer template and change this other stuff too, like this here. But there you go. That's how easy it is. I think it's easy. I hope that I've explained it well, because it truly is easy, and I really do hope that I've explained it well, so that you feel it's easy too. But yeah, start playing around and practice this. Just start simple. Maybe even go in the order that I said. Start copying and pasting, and then try the extend style, and then do the find and replace, and then the presets, and then if you have a child theme, or you just want to practice or whatever, go ahead and try doing that with the code editor, find and replace, and see how quick you can do it. See how quick you can transform a website from one color to another. That would actually be kind of cool. And yeah, just have fun with it. Enjoy seeing what tools Elegant Themes is putting out, because the presets, for example, that tool is going to be expanded. It needs to be improved. There's some problems with it, but yeah, just in general, Divi is providing you some really, really great efficiency tools here. So, put them into practice. All right, so there you go. Now you know how you can change your color scheme. So, for example, if you're looking at one of our child themes and you're like, well, I don't like the green color, I want it to be red, or, anything like that, it's actually pretty quick, isn't it? And it's actually kind of fun just to see that change take place there, and just completely change your website really quick. If you enjoyed this video, be sure that you're following along here on our blog and on YouTube, because we do Divi tutorials all the time. All right, well, we'll see you guys in the next video.